What if I told you that nothing in this world has the power to upset you, unless you give it permission? That you could walk through chaos like a calm storm, unfazed, unshaken, untouchable. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to act as if nothing can bother you, and why doing so doesn't just change your mood, it changes your entire reality. Stay till the end, because this shift could be the most powerful one you've ever made. Imagine a life where you become immune to insults, where criticism rolls off your back like water off a duck's feathers, and external events no longer hijack your emotions. This isn't about pretending to be emotionless. It's about stepping into your power, your center, and acting as if nothing can bother you, not because you're in denial, but because you've awakened to your true authority over how you respond to life. Most people are trapped in reactive living. Something happens, and boom, they're angry. Someone gives them a dirty look, and their whole day is ruined. A phone call, a text message, a bill, a delay, they hand over their peace like it's nothing. But let me ask you, what if you decided today, right now, to act as if none of it has the power to shake you? This is not wishful thinking, it is a form of mental and spiritual discipline. Neville Goddard said, "Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live." So what happens when you start seeing yourself as someone who simply cannot be bothered? Someone who walks into a room and carries peace with them like a force field. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the master of them. You begin to influence your reality, rather than letting it influence you. That annoying coworker. Suddenly, they don't have power over your energy, that rejection. It doesn't define you. That delay or detour. It becomes divine timing. When you act as if nothing can bother you, you stop living from the outside in and start living from the inside out. You stop trying to control the world, and instead, you control the only thing you ever truly could, your state of being. And here's the magic, when you stop reacting, the world around you starts to shift. That's not just philosophy, it's energetic science. Everything is vibration. When you vibrate peace, you attract peace. When you radiate calmness, you neutralize chaos. You become a stabilizing force in a turbulent world. People are drawn to you, opportunities flow more easily, and life stops feeling like a series of battles. You begin to manifest from a place of power, not desperation. But let's get real. Acting unbothered doesn't mean pretending problems don't exist, it means refusing to let them define your energy. It means saying, "I see this situation, but I choose how I move through it." It means becoming so grounded in who you are that the noise of the world fades into the background. And you do this not once, not occasionally, but as a lifestyle. You get up in the morning and you decide, today, nothing will pull me out of my peace. Not because today will be perfect, but because you've decided to be. You begin to respond instead of react. You begin to breathe before you speak, pause before you explode, reflect before you spiral. And slowly, your nervous system resets. Your body starts to feel safer. Your mind becomes sharper. You begin to notice the stillness that was always available to you beneath the surface of everything. Now, some people will test you. They always do. But here's where the transformation deepens. When they try to trigger you, and you remain still, something changes, not just in you, but in them, because now you're no longer mirroring their chaos, you're inviting them into your calm. That's true leadership. That's emotional sovereignty. That's spiritual authority. Let them be loud, let them be negative, let them be wrong, you stay centered. You stay aligned. And when your mind tries to spiral, when your emotions flare up, when your past habits try to return, you whisper to yourself, "I am unbothered. I am safe. I am calm." Over time, this becomes your default. And that's when the universe responds. That's when life begins to shape itself around your peace. And here's the deeper truth, acting unbothered is not just about avoiding stress. It's about mastering energy. When you are no longer disturbed by surface events, you gain access to deeper levels of clarity, intuition, and creation. You begin to move with precision, not panic. You begin to hear your inner voice more clearly, because it's no longer drowned out by mental noise. You begin to take aligned action, instead of reactive action. And this is where your life starts to transform. People will ask you, "Why are you so calm?" And you'll smile because you'll know, it's not because life got easier. It's because you got stronger. You trained yourself to act as if nothing can bother you, and in doing so, you became the kind of person who actually can't be bothered. Not because you don't care, but because you care more about your energy than your ego. You understand that peace is your superpower. You've learned that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You've realized that silence is sometimes louder than any comeback. You've discovered that some things just aren't worth your vibration. And in that moment, you've won, not over others, but over your lower self. So today, start practicing. Start small. When something bothers you, ask, "Is this worth my peace?" When you feel tension rising, pause and say, "I am the calm in the chaos." When someone tries to drag you into drama, take a breath and walk away with grace. You're not being weak, you're being wise. Let your stillness be your strength. Let your peace be your protest. Let your energy speak louder than your words. Act as if nothing can bother you, and you'll watch your world reorganize itself around that inner power. Because when you don't chase control, you gain it. When you don't seek validation, you embody confidence. When you don't react, you reign. This isn't just mindset, it's manifestation. It's the quiet revolution of self-mastery. And it begins now, with a simple choice to act as if nothing, and I mean nothing, has the right to steal your peace again. You stop answering every insult with attention. You stop meeting every crisis with chaos. You stop showing up for battles you never agreed to fight. You understand now that peace is not passive, it's a choice made again and again in the face of everything that tries to pull you away from it. And it's not always easy. There will be days when everything in you wants to scream, lash out, collapse. But even in those moments, you remember, I have the power to choose my response. I am not the puppet of my environment. I am not the servant of my emotions. I am the master of my state. And every time you choose stillness over reaction, every time you choose silence over drama, every time you choose to hold your center when the world begs you to lose it, you become more powerful. You start to notice something strange. The people who used to trigger you, they lose their grip. The situations that used to shake you, they bounce off your energy. You become a lighthouse, still, steady, glowing, and nothing disturbs your peace without your permission. And when others ask how you're doing it, you don't need to explain. You just smile, because you know. You've entered a new dimension, that you've risen above the noise. You've stopped swimming in the emotional current, and now you walk on top of the water. And it's not magic, it's practice. Daily, intentional, sacred practice. Waking up and saying, "Today, nothing will disturb me." Not because nothing will happen, but because I've decided I won't give it that power. And here's the secret you discover along the way: the moment you stop reacting is the moment the universe starts reorganizing itself in your favor. Because when you're not ruled by fear, you make better decisions. When you're not distracted by drama, you attract clarity. When you hold peace no matter what, peace becomes your default vibration, and that vibration calls in miracles. Suddenly, doors open. People treat you differently. Your presence becomes magnetic, powerful, respected. Not because you shouted, but because you didn't need to. You carried a calm so deep, the world couldn't ignore it. You want to be irresistible. Be unshakable. Be someone who cannot be moved by the noise of the world. Be someone who commands the room by the quiet power of your energy. Be someone who listens more than they react. Who smiles more than they stress. Who walks away from the fire without letting it burn them. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. This is spiritual elegance. This is the art of choosing yourself over and over until your peace becomes your identity. And every day, you build it. Every moment, you practice it. Until one day, it's no longer something you act, it's something you are. People will still try to project their pain onto you. The world will still have its chaos. But you'll be free. Because you no longer dance to that rhythm. You found your own song. You've chosen the role of creator, not reactor. And from this space, anything is possible. So let the noise rage. Let the storm howl. You remain. Steady. Soft. Strong. And most of all, unbothered. Because you finally understand, nothing is more valuable than your peace. And you're done giving it away for free.